Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen we're making a fluffy, melt-in-your-mouth white cake. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 350 so it's nice and hot, and now in a large bowl we're going to combine the dry ingredients, starting off with 3 cups or 360 grams of all-purpose flour. One of the most important things you can do in this recipe is not add too much flour, so grab a scale, or if you're using a measuring cup, sprinkle the flour in with a spoon, and then level it off. Don't scoop it up. To fluff things up, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. If you've only had boxed mix white cake, oh my gosh, you are missing out. This has a lovely flavor and the texture is so good. It's like a perfectly sweet cloud that floats into your mouth. For a bit of contrast, we're adding 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Grab a whisk and a copy of my book, Preppy Kitchen Super Easy, and we're gonna mix this up just to distribute all of those leavening agents and salt. Okay, set that aside, and now it's time for the wet. In the bowl of your stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, or a big bowl if you're using a hand mixer, we're gonna add 1 cup of room temperature butter. That's 227 grams. And by the way, room temperature means your butter should yield to the touch when pressed lightly. It's not gonna crack, and it generally feels soft. If your butter's too hard, it'll be lumpy and very annoying. Plop those in, and we're gonna cream this for about 30 seconds until it's nice and creamy. 30 seconds on medium should be just fine. To sweeten and soften things up, I'm adding 2 cups or 400 grams of granulated sugar. And you're gonna beat this on medium speed for about 3 minutes or so until it's light and fluffy, and I would scrape the bowl down once halfway through. Scraping the bowl down just gives you a nice homogeneous mixture. The way stand mixers work, they tend to compact a thin layer on the bowl that's really gonna be dense and probably not have that much sugar mixed in. While that finishes mixing, I'm gonna separate 5 eggs out. We're only gonna use the whites for this recipe. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit of yolk in your whites. We're only separating them because it's a white cake, not a yellow cake, and we want that color to be maintained. The egg whites are gonna give the cake structure, and that's basically it. You could use these yolks to make so many delicious things. If it was me, I would make a batch of my French buttercream. You can click up here for that. And that could be the filling in the white cake. Oh, it would be so good. But you could also make a flan really easily as well. With the mixer still running on medium, I'm gonna add the egg whites in one at a time. Let the mixture really incorporate before adding the next, and you should scrape the bowl down maybe 2 times during this process. I see some soupy nonsense. You see just butter and sugar. So we wanna scrape the bowl down and let everything mix really well together. Continue mixing. This cake, by the way, became popular in the 1950s, and it's interesting how many cakes that we love became popular in the 1950s. I think German chocolate cake as well, maybe a little bit later. Hummingbird cake was the 60s. What was that time? So you never see a bottle of vanilla and a measuring spoon in my hand, but today there will be, because we wanna have a light colored cake, and this, as you can see, is quite dark. You have a few options here. 1, just accept your cake will be a little bit darker, but so delicious. 2, you could use imitation vanilla extract, but I don't like to do that, but it's clear. And 3 is you could use another flavoring that's clear. So 1 and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. In addition, or instead, you could use half a teaspoon of almond extract. I'm gonna be adding this in. Gives you a lovely flavor, and it's very powerful. I think if you were just using almond extract, I would use 3/4 of a teaspoon. Other clear extracts that are less popular are orange blossom water and rose water. Both are lovely, but they're very specific flavors. Mix this in really well. The color hardly changed. Totally worth it. Scrape down one last time. Well, one last time, kind of. Right now I'm gonna add 1/3 of the flour mixture in. Sprinkle, sprinkle, just a little bit first. With the mixer on lowest speed, so add that in. I'll be alternating the dry mixture with 1 cup of whole milk that is room temperature. So you'll probably wanna microwave this just until it's like tepid or room temp, not ice cold. Add that 1/2 cup in. I'm turning the mixer off whenever I want to talk to you because this is what can go wrong, over mixing the batter. You measured your flour up properly, Everything else was fine. But if you mix this too much, the cake will totally change. You'll take it out of the oven, it'll look beautiful and smell amazing. But as it cools, it'll contract down and become gummy and sad, and even it'll taste different on your tongue. So do not overmix, mix it until it is almost combined and finish it by hand. Adding in the next third of flour, the remaining milk. This is 1/2 of a cup of milk, twice, and the last third of the flour. So our batter is almost mixed. There's definitely a lot of streaks of flour left, but my mixer is done. I'll be finishing this off by hand because part of the joy of a white cake is having the perfect, fluffy, melt in your mouth texture. Once your batter's done, grab 2 8-inch cake pans, and as you can see, I'm using a really light colored one. If possible, try and use a light colored pan. If you use a dark pan, and if you use baking spray instead of butter, that can really darken your cake up. It's gonna be covered by frosting, so it doesn't really matter either way, but I don't know. These are the things I think about. And for insurance, I'm adding a parchment paper round right in the middle. This will give you an easy release. If you're using butter and not baking spray, grab a tablespoon of flour, just kick it around in your pan so it coats everything lightly. Discard the rest, and repeat. Now we're gonna divide our batter equally. This batter smells so good, oh my gosh. Grab an offset spatula and smooth the batter out to the edge of each pan so they have a nice, even bake. My cake layers are ready to go into the oven, 350 for 35 to 40 minutes or until the centers spring back when gently pressed. In the meantime, we're gonna make a delicious frosting for them. In you go. Our cake's getting a simple but delicious vanilla buttercream. Grab 3 sticks or 1.5 cups of unsalted butter, add your butter in, and we're gonna cream it up. I'm also adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt. If you're using salted butter, just skip the added salt. We're gonna beat this on medium for about 2 minutes until it's very soft and we've pumped some air into it. American buttercream has a bad reputation for being like gritty, hard, super sweet, and it is the sweeter buttercream compared to Italian or Swiss. However, if you make it properly, it's actually light, silky, creamy, and amazing, and it does not have to be super sweet. Scrape your bowl down. Already this butter is so creamy and soft. To our butter, we're gonna add about 5 cups of powdered sugar. You do not have to add all 5 cups. You could, let's say, add 4 cups and then taste as you go and see if you want it to be a bit sweeter or if you're fine where it is. Mix on low, otherwise you're gonna get a giant cloud of powdered sugar. Wait for the first cup to mix in, add the second one, and just continue. For some flavor and to slacken things up, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla, last cup of powdered sugar. And right now the buttercream is too thick. We need to add some liquid in. You could use milk, half and half, or cream, whichever you'd like or have on hand. And you'll be using somewhere around 2 to 3 tablespoons. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less depending on the consistency that you want for the buttercream. Just gonna scrape my bowl down once and then mix it on medium-low for 2 to 3 minutes or until it's nice and creamy and combined. I think altogether I'm adding 3 tablespoons of cream, but if you want a more slack mixture, just go ahead and add an extra tablespoon at a time while mixing. My buttercream looks great, so let's assemble our cake and make it look beautiful. My cake layers are completely cooled, and now we're gonna add 1 cup of frosting right on top of the first layer, smooth it out into an even layer with an offset spatula. I reserved about 1/2 cup of frosting for some decorations. The rest is gonna go right on top of the cake. And this is an American buttercream, so when you make a white, uncolored one, it's gonna be this cream color. If you want it to be whiter, you really have to add a little bit, like a tiny, tiny little bit of violet or blue, and that will give it that more white appearance. I don't mind the natural color of butter. If you wanted it to be pure white without having any food coloring, just make a Swiss or Italian meringue buttercream, and it's much lighter in color because it's based in a meringue made of egg whites. Spread it out into a nice smooth layer, and now work it down the side. Just do it bit by bit. Don't try and do it all at once. Once your cake's smooth, finish it off with some dollops or a ripple, whatever you'd like. I'm using a large closed star tip. Finish it off with a sprinkle of sprinkles. So cheerful. If you want, you can add a little skirt on the side as well. Give your cake a slice and it's ready to enjoy. It's like a sweet, fluffy vanilla cloud floating right into your mouth. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my cake playlist.